What if one of the biggest scientific mistakes about dinosaurs is still living inside your head right now? Because for more than a century, we imagined dinosaurs as giant reptiles. Dry skin, giant teeth, cold eyes, monsters built from scales and muscle. But the fossils tell a completely different story. A stranger story. A story involving warmth, color, display, evolution, and eventually, flight. Because some dinosaurs weren't covered in scales at all. They had feathers. And the real reason why changes everything we thought dinosaurs were. Imagine standing in a prehistoric forest 125 million years ago. Mist drifts through ancient trees. Insects buzz through humid air. Somewhere in the distance, something screams. But this world doesn't look like Jurassic Park. It's far more alien. Smaller predators move through the undergrowth with bird-like speed. Their heads twitch rapidly. Their eyes scan constantly. And beneath shafts of sunlight, their bodies shimmer with something unexpected. Soft filaments, primitive feathers. But why would evolution give feathers to dinosaurs that couldn't even fly? That question haunted paleontology for decades. Because at first, feathers made no sense. Flightless predators don't need wings. Massive hunters don't need fluff. Unless feathers originally had nothing to do with flight. In the 1990s, scientists uncovered fossils in Liaoning Province, China. The volcanic ash there preserved details so delicate that even skin outlines survived. And then came the fossil that shocked the world, Sinosauropteryx. Along its tail and back were strange filament-like structures. Not scales, not decomposed skin, feathers, primitive feathers. Suddenly, the image of dinosaurs began to collapse. At the time, many scientists still viewed dinosaurs as giant cold-blooded reptiles, slow-moving creatures dependent on sunlight. But the evidence kept pointing somewhere else. Dinosaur bones showed rapid growth rates. Predator-prey ratios resembled modern ecosystems with active hunters. Some species may have maintained stable body temperatures internally. In other words, some dinosaurs may have been partially warm-blooded, and warm bodies lose heat quickly, especially small ones. Feathers may have first evolved for insulation, not for flight, but to trap warmth close to the body, like fur in mammals. That sounds strange today because we imagine the age of dinosaurs as permanently tropical. But Earth's climate changed constantly. Some feathered dinosaurs lived in cool forests with seasonal temperatures. Fossils even suggest snowy conditions in some regions. Then paleontologists found something even more shocking. Yutyrannus, a giant relative of Tyrannosaurus, nearly 30 feet long, covered in feathers. The discovery destroyed the idea that feathers belonged only to tiny dinosaurs. Even giant predators may have worn coats of fuzz. But insulation still doesn't explain one thing. Why did some feathers become colorful? Why evolve patterns that make animals easier to see? The answer may reveal something deeply familiar. Dinosaurs weren't just surviving, they were communicating. For decades, nobody believed scientists could ever know the color of dinosaurs. That information seemed permanently lost, until microscopes revealed microscopic structures inside fossil feathers called melanosomes. These structures store pigment in modern birds. By comparing fossil melanosomes to living birds, scientists reconstructed ancient colors. Some dinosaurs had striped tails, some had reddish feathers, others may have shimmered with iridescent black. Suddenly, dinosaurs stopped looking like reptiles. They started looking eerily bird-like. Feathers became display structures, signals for attracting mates, warning rivals, identifying species. In a silent prehistoric forest, color became language. Imagine two feathered dinosaurs facing each other at dawn. One spreads feathered arms outward. The colors flash in sunlight. It looks less like a reptile, and more like a modern bird performing a mating dance, which leads to an unsettling realization. Bird behavior may not have originated in birds. It may have begun in dinosaurs. But feathers were about to do something evolution never planned. They started interacting with air itself. Small feathered predators sprint through dense forest. Their arms spread instinctively during turns. Their tails stabilize movement. Feathers create drag and control. Some paleontologists believe primitive feathers improved agility while hunting. Others think feathered limbs helped dinosaurs climb steep surfaces. Young dinosaurs may even have used proto-wings to run uphill without slipping. Feathers were becoming multifunctional tools: insulation, display, movement control. And then evolution pushed them one step further. Deep in the trees lived a creature unlike anything alive today: Microraptor. It had feathers on its arms, feathers on its legs, feathers forming 4 aerodynamic surfaces. Not a bird, not fully dinosaur, something in between. Microraptor likely glided between trees. Not true powered flight yet, but close. Evolution was experimenting, and that raises an even bigger mystery. If feathers existed before flight, then what exactly created birds? For generations, birds and dinosaurs were treated as separate worlds. One ancient, one modern, one extinct, one alive. But fossil after fossil erased that boundary. Hollow bones, wishbones, air sacs, brooding behavior over nests, feathers. Dinosaurs and birds weren't separate after all. Birds are dinosaurs. More specifically, the last surviving branch of feathered theropods. That pigeon outside your window? It is more closely related to Tyrannosaurus Rex than Tyrannosaurus was to Stegosaurus. The age of dinosaurs never fully ended. It simply changed shape. But the strangest part of all is that flight may have been an accident. Evolution doesn't plan ahead. It modifies what already exists. Feathers evolved for warmth, then display, then balance and movement. And only later did some of those structures become capable of flight. Feathers were never invented for flying. Flying emerged from feathers. The sky was not the original destination, it was a side effect, a beautiful evolutionary accident. So the next time you imagine dinosaurs, don't just imagine giant reptiles roaring through jungles. Imagine warm-blooded hunters covered in colorful feathers. Imagine creatures displaying, communicating, adapting. Imagine evolution experimenting in real time. Because hidden beneath the scales of the past were the first whispers of birds. And maybe the most incredible truth of all is that feathers didn't transform dinosaurs into birds. Dinosaurs were becoming birds the entire time.